Hi there guys, just want to give you some feedback of the National Championship held here at Albert Falls last week. It was a very successful event for me. I managed to pull off a win. A lot of the fish I caught was around other anglers. The areas that was holding the fish was fairly well known, so it became a very technical tournament. Obviously also not only on lures and techniques, but also how you use your electronics. Now in recent years, Lowrance Fishtec maps have become very popular with a lot of anglers, simply for the reason that they are very effective. They basically give you a huge advantage to be able to see pieces of key structure that is not that easy to pick up with your electronics in a general standard day of fishing, and also it gives you a very holistic perspective of a venue without having you to have to go and scan and do a lot of homework weeks and beforehand, scanning and marking spots and stuff like that. In saying that, I've noticed a lot of anglers don't use the maps to their true potential. Firstly, they don't spend the time understanding the electronics and the positioning of the boat on these key structures. They also don't always know what they're looking at. They seem to always want to find the really big, obvious stuff. Often those structures are already known years before technology has allowed us to have a closer look at things. And yeah, when I go to a new venue or someplace I've never been before and I get hold of a map, yes, the first thing I do is also mark all the key stuff. And most certainly when I go and practice, I sort of go and I hit these areas to get confidence and start catching a few fish, and also to pinpoint where concentrations of fish are. Generally I call areas like that indicator spots. By the time the tournament comes, I might start on the first day of the tournament by hitting some of these areas, but not for very long. It doesn't take me long to start advancing onto what I call secondary structure, or another dimension to the structure that everybody else will be doing. Now the maps is essential to put you on the clue of this, but sometimes the map will not give you the detail that you require, and this is where the knowledge of your electronics and how to use your electronics comes in again. Why am I saying that? Some of the work done on these maps were at a certain given point. You might find that there's a water level that was at that time. Also the bottom structure might have been overgrown with grass or quite sparse at that point. And now at the time you're fishing this tournament, the landscape's changed down there. There might be much more weed clumps than that was at that time, and that type of thing. So the point I'm trying to make, use the Fishtec Lowrance maps to put you on the dartboard, and then sometimes you still got to go and find that little bullseye by using your electronics. And that's where the difference comes in. I'm going to show you guys one of the key areas I fished in the tournament, and I'm going to show you around. There's some key structure pieces where a lot of anglers were focusing on, and what I was doing, I was using more subtle sort of clues on the maps to pinpoint some of the fish. And as mentioned earlier, then I fine-tuned it by using my structure scan, which is the side scan, to pick up higher points in the weed beds under the water. I'm just going to move the GoPro. Just bear with me. Okay, so if you look at my screen here, this is an area really well known, and it has been working for a long time. Now you can see some very key pieces of structure there, very obvious stumps, higher mounds, and yes, that's where a lot of guys was focusing in the tournament. Now this little piece here where that stop sign is, this was one of my key spots. And there's basically very little or no structure on this, but if you look very carefully on side scan, you'll see that for some reason there were clumps of grass growing on these areas here, more than some of the other more prominent areas, and that was what I was focusing on. What made it very nice too is that the level on these aerial HD charts, it gives you extremely accurate contour line. While sometimes, you know, you can have contour lines on sediment charts and stuff like that, but you will never ever find something as accurate as this, simply because the water is level. It's 100% accurate. So that is as level as it's going to be, and that makes it possible to start identifying little things like this. Is what one can call a secondary point, while this is a primary point on the bottom composition. Again, a lot of anglers hitting this area here, not so many this side. And again, added using side scan, I was able to identify some of these areas. Okay, there it's on down image now, but if you go right only, you'll see there's some clues down there. If you move your boat around, you'll start being able to see some clumps of grass, and that's what the fish was actually keying on.